I'm focused, man.
I come from Bed-Stuy. See the two of they gon' die. Gotta keep the close by. Someone murdered. Nobody seen, nobody heard it. Just another funeral service. We'll get at you. Come through, shine it, yap you. In broad daylight, kidnap you. Get clapped through. Police stay on us like tattoos. It's only grind cause we have to. Money is power. Sling powder. Things through every hour. It's all about that dollar. And we no deal with cowards. Weak lambs get devoured by the lion in the concrete jungle. The strong stand and rumble. The weak bold and crumble. It's the land of trouble. Brooklyn, home of the greatest rappers. Big comes first and the cream comes after. Now put your lighters up. Bed-Stuy, put your lighters up. New York, put your lighters up. DC, putting your lighters up. Philadelphia, put your lighters up. Detroit, put your lighters up. Chi-Town, keep putting them lighters up. No matter where you're from, put your lighters up. Now let me give you a walkthrough, show you what to do and you don't do. Where it's not safe to go to. The boys approach you, better say quick who you close to. Don't come through if don't know you, cause people is talking, the streets is watching, the G's is lurking, that's the in the garbage. The life of a hustler, the life of a gambler. Dice games kill more than cancer. You know you quick, Brooklyn don't run, we run. Roll up and just bum rush. We don't play that out in BK, not at all. Found leave your face on the wall. R.I.P. in memory of. Never show thy enemies love. We get it on where we live. Better have a pass when you cross that bridge. Welcome to Brooklyn. Put your lighters up. LA, put your lighters up. VA, put your lighters up. Texas, keep putting your lighters up. I come from Bed-Stuy. See the two of they gon' die. Gotta keep the close by. Someone murdered. Nobody seen, nobody heard it. Just another funeral service. We'll get at you. Come through, shine it, yap you. In broad daylight, kidnap you. Best get clapped through. Police stay on us like tattoos. It's only grind cause we have to. Money is power. Sling powder. Things come through every hour. It's all about that dollar. And we don't deal with cowards. Weak lambs get devoured by the lion in the concrete jungle. The strong stand and rumble. The weak fold and crumble. It's the land of trouble. Brooklyn, home of the greatest rappers. Big comes first and the cream comes after. Now put your lighters up. Bed-Stuy, put your lighters up. New York, put your lighters up. DC, putting your lighters up. Philadelphia, put your lighters up. Detroit, put your lighters up. Chi-Town, keep putting them lighters up. No matter where you're from, put your lighters up. Now let me give you a walkthrough, show you what to do and you don't do. Where it's not safe to go to. The boys approach you, better say quick who you close to. Don't come through if don't know you, cause people is talking, the streets is watching, the G's is lurking, that's the in the garbage. The life of a hustler, the life of a gambler. Dice games kill more than cancer. You know you quick, Brooklyn don't run, we run. Roll up and just bum rush. We don't play that out in BK, not at all. Found leave your face on the wall. R.I.P. in memory of. Never show thy enemies love. We get it on where we live. Better have a pass when you cross that bridge. Welcome to Brooklyn.
The hop, you don't stop, don't stop. That's effects with the real hip hop, hip hop. The hop, you don't quit, don't quit. That's effects with the rip shit, rip shit. The hop, you don't stop, don't stop. That's effects with the real hip hop, hip hop. The hop, you don't quit. That's effects with the rip shit, rip shit. Yo, well on your market, get set. Can't forget the goal. In case you didn't know, the flow is fat like Joe. Yo, you nigga didn't know that I'm back, man. You whack, man. I eat a rapper like I'm Pac-Man. I figured they bring it straight from the cellar. Varela, packing more hits than Lupinella. I swallow, nigga in his eye. If he test me, you don't impress me. Yo, books kick the rest, G. One time for your mind. Hey, yo, what up? Is the crew bringing the ruckus? No doubt, we's the roughest dream team. Reign supreme.
PLSX. All right, we in the building. Another HEX stream as promised. This is going to be a good one. Very informative. Some new resources that have become available. I'll be talking about all of that in this stream. This is volume number 10 of Let's Talk About HEX, baby. I haven't done a HEX stream in quite a while. I have, however, been continuing to build up my bags in the HEX ecosystem. Those of you familiar with TeamAlliance, you know that primarily what I focus on is the content with regards to professional trading, of course. And we utilize a few platforms for that. Nadex, Quotex are just a couple that are out there available to use that we primarily use to trade on. And trading is something that is different and separate from investing. What I'm going to focus on in this stream tonight is going to be the investing aspect of what we do here, which is primarily in the crypto space. I do other things, of course, but I don't really talk about anything else aside from things regarding the financial markets. So that includes crypto as well. This is powerful stuff that we have going on here, like for real. And some of you don't even know what HEX is. You don't know what PulseChain is. You don't know what PulseX is. You might have heard me mention it or seen a couple of clips on social media, stuff like that. But you don't really know what's going on. And that's okay, because these streams are designed to kind of give you education from the ground up. There are a bunch of links that are underneath the video in the description box. Right now, I'm streaming live on 3 platforms. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And, you know, these are powerful social media platforms where you kind of are more likely to see information pertaining to what it is that I'm going to be discussing this evening, which is HEX, PulseChain, PulseX. This website that I have up now is a new website called HEX Scout. And this is basically just a front end for HEX. Now, this space that we're in within crypto is what is referred to as DeFi. And if you don't understand what that means, let me just tell you a quick story about someone recently who had their funds, their coins, their tokens on a centralized exchange, and they can't get access to their tokens, meaning that they can't get access to their money, which is crazy. A centralized exchange is an exchange such as Robinhood, Coinbase. I'm not saying that these are bad exchanges. I just want to talk about them briefly to educate you on the difference between centralized exchanges and decentralized finance, which is what we're doing. With DeFi, you control the access to your coins. You control the access to your funds, to your money, your hard-earned money that you're investing. You control access to your coins. when you have crypto coins that are truly decentralized tokens, such as what it is that we're investing in, HEX, PulseChain, PulseX. These are not companies that we're investing in. This is where this differs from the stock market, just as an example. In the stock market, you're investing in a company. When you buy that stock, you're literally putting your money into that company, and the company is doing whatever they will with the money that you're investing in the company. They're using it for other investments. They're using it for buying product that they're going to sell, whatever they decide to use it for, whatever their business model is. That's where your funds are going when you buy shares within a company. You're financing their operation, right? Within the crypto space, we're not buying a company. When you put your money into these coins and into these tokens, such as Bitcoin, like what happens when you buy Bitcoin? Is there a Bitcoin company? Is there a Bitcoin office? No. Why? Because it's crypto. The coin itself is decentralized. The code, and these words are synonymous, coin and code. The coin code is decentralized, meaning it's literally code sitting on a server, and no one can tap into it and modify it or change it or do anything to it crazy. Now, mind you, people have attempted to. Don't get me wrong. People have attempted many times to hack into Bitcoin, and some people have successfully done certain things around Bitcoin, but no one has actually changed the code, because you can't change cryptography. Whatever it's created and designed to do, that's what it does. Now, Bitcoin was designed originally to be a store of value, digital gold. When you buy Bitcoin, it's like you're storing money for the long term. That's the idea behind it. The creator of Bitcoin, nobody ever met him. No one has ever seen this guy, Satoshi Nakamoto. Nobody knows who he is. When he created Bitcoin, there was a certain amount of Bitcoin that he put to the side in a wallet. And a wallet is just the location of where X amount of coins are going. Just like you'll have your own wallet when you buy coins. So everybody that buys these coins or these tokens, you have your wallet, and then you have your keys to access your wallet. So the wallet is just where your coins are sitting. The keys is what gives you access to that wallet where your coins are sitting. So if you have access to your wallet, you can put more coins in the wallet, or you can sell coins that are in the wallet on the open market to somebody else with a wallet. This is crypto. Crypto is powerful, and crypto is a challenge to the traditional banking system. Through crypto, we're able to be anonymous, just as an example. You can see transactions on the blockchain. You can see the coins that are moving around. You can see what's going on with them, but you don't know who they belong to. You can see it's someone's wallet. You can see how many coins are in there. You can see coins that they've bought, coins that they've sold, coins that they've swapped. They might have swapped one coin for another. On the blockchain is a ledger, and literally on the ledger, you see every transaction that ever took place from the beginning of the blockchain. So you can look at Bitcoin and look at every transaction that has ever taken place on the blockchain for Bitcoin, and you can see it. It's public access. Anyone who looks on The blockchain can see it because it's a ledger, it's permanent. You see all the transactions, but you don't know who the wallet belongs to. It's anonymous. This is the difference between this financial way of doing things and the traditional way of finance that we're used to. When you go into a bank, you don't just go into a bank and give them money and then they give you your account and then that's it. They want to know your name. They want to know who you are, where you work, your social security number, all your information. How old are you? Where's your job? Where's it located? Who's your family? What's your blood type? A lot of information they're collecting, isn't it? When you're in the DeFi space, you literally right now can come on to any of these wallets that are available, open up a wallet. You don't have to submit any information about who you are. Open up a wallet, you get your keys to the wallet. Whatever coins you put in that wallet are yours. You can transact. You see where I'm going? So this concept of crypto is powerful and it's really threatening the financial system altogether because of everything that I just explained. And a government can't stop it. Now, hold on. Let me explain something else about exchanges. When an exchange is centralized, it means that they are government operated and controlled. And let me not say government operated. Let me not say that. But they are government controlled because they're regulated. The government wants to keep an eye on who has an account with that exchange. When you open up an account with Coinbase, you submit all your information. It's called KYC. Know your customer. So they want the exchange to know who has an account on that exchange, basically so that they can track what you're doing within crypto. This is how they've been able to keep track of what is going on within the crypto space and who these coins belong to. But in true DeFi, no one knows, including the government. They can't see you have freedom of speech. And crypto represents freedom of speech because what it's saying is that, well, I don't have to tell you who I am for us to do business or to have a transaction. It's just like if I want to buy something from you, why you got to know who I am? I want to remain anonymous. I don't want everybody knowing what I bought. Because if I buy something from you and then that information is able to be seen by someone else can see what I bought from you. Maybe I don't want to have everyone seeing what I bought from you. Maybe I don't want anybody to know. I have the right to do that. It's freedom of speech. So the same way that you have the freedom to speak and to say what you believe in or to speak your opinion, you have the right to privacy. It's one of your rights. So these are things that can't be taken from you and they can't be manipulated at the core. And this is what crypto is allowing us to do. So I'm kind of just talking about that a little bit because I want to just shed light on why crypto is so powerful and why it kind of makes sense. Not even kind of makes sense. It makes sense for you to educate yourself and just become aware of what this thing is. It's like this is investing as far as us identifying what coins to put our money into, because of course there are a lot of scams out there. There are a lot of shady people out there, just like with anything. Think of how many companies out there are shady and their stock is traded on the stock exchange. Every company on the NASDAQ or the S&P 500 is not on the up and up? They're not all great companies, are they? They're not all profitable at the time. You got to do your research to find out what's going on with the company to figure out whether or not they will become valuable in the future because of the operations that they're doing now. Then you also have to take into consideration how much you're paying for that stock. So you see how all of these components play their role when it comes to you investing your money. Crypto is no different. It's the same principle as far as that goes. However, the difference is it is not centralized. And this is why this is powerful for us, because it's allowing us to have privacy. I don't want everybody to know how rich I am. See, what happens when you start to have money and a lot of it, do you really want everybody knowing how much money you got? Not really. Crypto is a way to not reveal how much wealth you have. It's a way to prevent anyone from being able to control you, to control how much money you are, wanting to spend. It gives you control and access to your wealth. So this is where decentralized finance comes in. And I wanted to make sure that I talked about that before I really went any deeper into anything else as far as what it is specifically that we're dealing with, which is HEX, PulseChain, PulseX. All right, so that's like a little intro that really is more educational than anything. I want to try to help, to just provide information and education as far as this space goes, and just make people more and more aware of what it is that we're doing and what's going on and why this is valuable, why this is powerful. This is real powerful stuff that we're dealing with. All right, so now let's talk about HEX. I want to talk about this new resource that's available, at least one of them. So let's discuss HEX in some detail right now. Let's talk about HEX. Let's talk about HEX, baby. All right, let me make this a little bigger. All right. This website is called hexscout.com. It's becoming easier and easier to gain access to information and also to actually investing in these cryptos. It's becoming easier to buy HEX, easier to buy PulseChain, PulseX. Literally, the way that I buy into the ecosystem right now is I use a website called PulseLN.com. As a matter of fact, you'll see the link for it underneath this video, right in the description box. If you look right at the top, look in the description box, and it will say to buy PLS tokens directly using CashApp. There's a link underneath that. That link is for PulseLN.com. And when you go to PulseLN, what it allows you to do is to take Bitcoin or Ethereum or any crypto, really. Well, let me not say any because they kind of have a list of cryptos that, you can swap. But let's say that you got either Bitcoin or Ethereum in your wallet. And let's say that you have a Coinbase wallet. Matter of fact, let's say that you have CashApp. I'll use CashApp because I like the way that CashApp is set up. CashApp allows you to buy Bitcoin directly from the app, like instantly. You go on to CashApp. Once you submit your information and you're approved, they will allow you to buy Bitcoin directly on the app. So let's say that you got $100 in your Cash App in cash money. You can take that $100 and instantly buy Bitcoin right in the app. Powerful. When you buy that Bitcoin in Cash App, your Bitcoin is sitting in your Cash App Bitcoin wallet, and you can use that same Bitcoin, and you can go to PulseLN. And as a matter of fact, do I want to pull it up? Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm going to pull it up just because I'm talking about it. Let me pull it up real quick. So you PulseLN, this is the page that opens up as soon as you click on the link. The link is underneath this video in the description box. When you click on it, you click agree, and then it opens up this this DEX right here. And I'll just zoom in so you can see what's going on here. So literally, when you click this box right here, it shows you which coins you can use to swap. So if you got Bitcoin, you got Ethereum, Binance Coin. I guess that these are Ethereum on different exchanges that you can use. You can use Monero, you can use Solana, and you can use DAI as well. And what happens is directly from this site, you can use, let's say that you got Bitcoin. So you go to your Cash App, you buy the Bitcoin, take your Bitcoin, and you come here and you can directly swap your Bitcoin for Pulse. So let me see how much. So if you had $100, right? If you had $100, let me see how much Bitcoin you could get for $100 approximately. Let me see if do they got wrapped Bitcoin on here? WBTC. Yeah, they do. There it is. Wrapped Bitcoin. I'm on a different site right now, but I'm just doing this to see how much Bitcoin you would get for $100. So you would get roughly 0.00222 Bitcoin. So let's say 220,000 Satoshis. So all right, this is how you look at Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is going to be as a fraction. So it'll, in your Bitcoin wallet, show up as 0.0022200. 22,000. What'd I say? 222,000. That's how it'll show up in your Bitcoin wallet. 0.0022200. When you come to this site, that 222,000, it'll look like this. It'll just look like that without the 0.00 in the front. You see that? Because on this site, it's looking at the Bitcoin as Satoshi. So all you're doing is just removing the 0.00. And whatever that number is, that's how much Bitcoin that you would be typing in over here when you get to this site. And when you type that in, it'll show you how much Pulse you can get. Let me see. Why is it not showing how much Pulse? Hold up. The pair is offline. Why is the pair offline? There we go. So 222,000. You see underneath it shows you the dollar amount. So that's roughly about $100. You see that? $97. So it's showing you how much Pulse you'll get here. So you would end up getting 1,759,000 Pulse for that amount of Bitcoin. So for $100, you're getting 1.7 million Pulse or PLS coins. $100. Once you have the PLS coins, you know that you can go and then you can swap your PLS for any of the other tokens. So if you want to use PLS to buy HEX on PulseChain, you can buy HEX on PulseChain. You can use the PLS to buy HEX on Ethereum. You can use the PLS to buy PulseX. And all of this you're able to do using Bitcoin or using Ethereum. In this case, it's Bitcoin because that's what you bought in your Cash App. So in your Cash App, you can buy the Bitcoin, use the Bitcoin on this site to buy the Pulse. And it's very simple. Like you see here where it says receiving address. In this box, you just would put your actual PLS address. So, you know, we use MetaMask. MetaMask is what allows us to have a decentralized wallet. And that wallet has an address. And that wallet address is what you would put here. The same wallet address that you want the Pulse to end up in. That's the address that you put here, right? And you're able to convert the Bitcoin, and it converts the Pulse, and it ends up in your PLS address. And mind you, it happens instantly. So you see, there's no barrier to give you access to PLS or to HEX or PulseX, because once you have the PLS, you can then swap the PLS for HEX on Ethereum, HEX on PulseChain, or for PulseX. So we got access very easily. Let me shoot back over to the other website. And if you have questions, please feel free to type your questions in. Don't hesitate to type in your questions. Let me switch back over to Hex Scout because I want to show you how powerful this website is with information about your holdings. So once you start building up your bag and you actually start having your own HEX and really anything else that you have, it'll show up also. You'll be able to see everything in your portfolio when you connect your wallet to this site. You'll be able to see everything that you have in your wallet. But I want to show you how powerful this is and why this really got me pretty excited. So for one, the first thing that you see, you can see the price of HEX. When you come to the website, one of the first things that I would suggest that you do is to go to where you can turn on Pro. There's an option that lets you turn the Pro on. Where's that at? Is it under market? Wherever it is. There's an option that lets you turn on Pro. I think it's up here. Yeah, it's up here. So Pro mode, when you first come, it'll be like this. It'll say enable because you didn't enable it yet. But when you come to, you click the little gear up here and it opens up this page, settings. Scroll down and you click on enable and it puts you in Pro mode. And Pro mode just allows you to have access to the stakes where you can actually see by staking how X amount of coins, what it turns into over time. You can input what the potential future value of HEX is going to be by the time your stake expires, and just get an idea of what things will look like and how much your HEX will be worth and how much HEX you'll actually have. Because remember that with HEX, you actually can stake your HEX and you'll be earning HEX every day for the duration of your stake. And this is powerful stuff. Like people don't realize yet how crazy this is. People don't get it yet. They don't get it yet. They really don't. And I'm telling you, like, people are gonna like people I talk to now that still, ask questions about crypto and, what's this? And I heard you talking about HEX and blah, blah, blah. Just dig into the information. Like, that's why I do these live streams, because I'm pretty thorough when I go into detail, with these live streams and whatnot. I give you a lot of specific information about the way I'm doing it. And this information is going to help you. All right. So anyway, so once you click on pro mode, when you come back up to market, it shows you the price of HEX on both chains. Watch this. You see this up at the top? You see how that's the Ethereum logo? So this is showing you the price of HEX on Ethereum. Right now, the price is 0.0056. If you click on this, you see how I switch to the PulseChain logo? And I'm up here at the top where I'm moving my mouse. Hopefully you guys can see this. You can see now it's on PulseChain. It shows the price of HEX on PulseChain. 0.0094. See that? And of course it gives, more information. They do have options for you to be able to buy HEX directly with a credit card. There's another site called Coast. Coast is KYC, meaning that you have to put your information up specifically on that site. Any site that you would be using a credit card for, you're going to have to input your information. Period. So whether it's Coinbase or, a website like this, Change Now. Is it Change Now? Is Change Now Coast? I thought it was Coast. It's either Coast or Change Now, or they might be the same thing. I forgot. I think Change Now is different. But anyway, these websites are KYC, so you have to input your information. And once you input your information, you actually literally can use the card to buy HEX directly. It's kind of crazy. Like, it's becoming less and less difficult to gain access directly to HEX and to the HEX ecosystem. So whether it's PulseChain, HEX, PulseX, just like I showed you guys a moment ago, the way I buy PulseChain, and then I use my PulseChain and I swap it for HEX on the PulseX DEX, the PulseX app. That's where you are able to swap your HEX, or swap your PulseChain, I should say, for HEX or for PulseX or whatever you want to get. So yeah, you have all of this available on this site. It's a lot of resources. But I'm gonna show you guys the staking resource right here. Now, this is powerful. So check this out. This is what I'm doing. So here it shows you, let's say that you wanted to stake 10,000 of your HEX, right? And let's say that you want to stake it for 5 years. So that's about 1825. Up here, it shows you the 10,000 HEX. And let me zoom in. So it shows you the 10,000 HEX. It shows you the current value of that. So right now, 10,000 HEX. And this is HEX on PulseChain. So you see up here where it says I want to stake PHEX. PHEX is HEX on PulseChain. If you click this, it'll show you HEX on Ethereum. So 10,000 HEX on Ethereum is worth $55. 10,000 HEX on PulseChain is worth $94 currently, right? So if we want to stake for 5 years, we put in the 1825 here. That's 5 years. And when you click on start stake, it'll actually break down a staking ladder, if I'm not mistaken. So it'll show you a couple of different options, but I'm not going to click that right now. I just want to show you the way that this is going to break down the numbers. So watch this. So if you stake 10,000 HEX for 1,825 days, which is 5 years, and let's say that in 5 years, the price of HEX is going to be, we'll say $1.50. Will be super duper 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 conservative. So $1.50, right? So that 10,000 HEX that you staked 5 years from now, this is going to show you with all of the bonuses and everything that you were able to utilize for the stake. This part shows you the yield. So it shows you literally how much how much HEX you're earning every day. Throughout this time period, you'll be earning around 4.21 HEX every day. Over a week, that's 30. Over a month, that's 129. And then it shows you 1,540 over the course of 1 year. This is based on the stake of 5 years. Okay? Now, watch this. If 5 years from now, HEX is $1.50, this is showing your projected earnings. Watch. You stake the 10,000 HEX. That's here. The yield that you earn, meaning the HEX that you earn in addition to the 10,000 that you staked, is another 7,692 HEX. So you literally, it's as if you were buying HEX every day just by staking the 10,000 HEX. Because at the end of 5 years, you have an additional 7,600 HEX on top of the 10,000 that you staked. And now that gives you the total here of the 17,600 HEX. And at $1.50, how much is that going to be worth at that time? The green number right there, you see what that says, right? $26,000. This website is crazy because you don't have to guess about what things would be based on numbers. So you can change the numbers here. Just like I use $1.50 as the price that HEX will be 5 years from now. And this is for am I doing PHEX? Yeah, this is for PHEX. So this is HEX on PulseChain. What this is showing me is what my bag would be worth for what I staked, which was only 10,000 HEX. Just staking 10,000 HEX, which today is worth $94. So the $94 worth of HEX today that I'm staking for 5 years, 5 years from now, with the price of only $1.50, 5 years from now, would be worth over $26,000. And look at how much additional HEX I was able to earn during that period, and I didn't do anything. I literally staked it and left it. That's all I did. Bought some HEX, staked it, and left it alone. That's it. And this is 5 years from now. Now, I want to show you 10 years. Oh, Mark, that's too long. Just pay attention to what I'm showing you, because I'm going to show you how powerful this shit really is. So we're going to do the same stake, 10,000, but we're going to use 10 years. Now, this is 10 years, so we won't even use a ridiculous number for where HEX could be at 10 years. And I want you to just think about something for a second. Whatever plan that you have in place now, I want you to think about where you could be financially 10 years from now. Whatever your plan is. Because I want to show you how powerful this is now. Literally using $94 worth of HEX right now. Just setting this up and leaving it. Just set it and leave it. What does it look like? What could this possibly do? in this crypto space with this thing called HEX. What could happen? Let's look at it. Watch. Just watch this. Same 10,000 HEX is worth $94 today. And this is HEX on PulseChain. Okay? We stake it for 10 years. It even shows you the date that it would be complete, 2033, 10 years from now. You get more bonuses because you're staking longer. You're earning more per day because you're staking longer. So now we're earning 6.32 HEX a day, 44 per week, 193 over the course of a month, and 2,300 a year. For 5 years, we were earning about 1,500 HEX a year. So you see how your yield increases with the longer amount of time that you stake for. Just pay attention. Again, just 10,000 HEX, $95. Let's say HEX in 10 years is $3. That's fair. I mean, $3, $3 HEX. What does it look like? What does that $94 look like 10 years from now? And see, like, the reason I'm showing you this is because I'm showing you how powerful what this is that we have now is, and you really not risking anything at all just to see what could happen. So watch this. 10,000 HEX. That's how much we staked. Look how much HEX we earned in addition to that. 23,000 HEX. So we tripled the amount of HEX that we had today. 10 years from now, it's 3 times as much HEX because we staked for a longer period of time. And like I said, just stake it and leave it. $95. Now check this out. Look at how much at $3 your bag is worth. So you got a bag in total of roughly 33,000 HEX, and your bag is worth about $100,000. I'm just saying. Your $95 that you spent today on 10,000 HEX, by you staking it for 10 years, could potentially be worth 100 racks. And this is at a price of $3 HEX. So in other words, it got to take 10 years to reach $3. 10 years to get to $3. But that's $100,000 10 years from now. Just for $95 in the right crypto today. I'm just saying. And I'm using all of these low numbers because I don't want you, oh, well, HEX could be $100 by then. You're right. And if it is, wonderful. That's even more great. Yes, absolutely. But let's say that it's just something conservative like these numbers here that I'm playing around with. So anyway, you see how powerful this tool is on HEX Scout. This is on the stake link over here on the side. When you click on stake, it allows you to do this. So you can play with these numbers. You can play with however long you want to stake for, however much HEX you want to stake for. And you can see what that could potentially equal over here. The numbers are just crazy. So anyway, what did I want to mention? Oh, okay. So this is what I'm doing. So there was a HEX stream I did where I talked about a 5-year stake that I did already. I set up a 5-year stake back in January of this year. Okay. This is when I first started buying HEX. I didn't even fully understand all of it yet. But I understood, okay, well, you buy some and then you stake some and then, you're going to be earning HEX every day. That's all I knew. Now look at the way that it's breaking everything down, so you really get a thorough understanding of what is happening. It shows you the staking bonuses. Bigger pays better, longer pays better. How much effective principal your stake actually is and why it's earning that yield. Like all of this is built into HEX. It's built into the code. No one is doing this for you. It's the code doing it. You're the one who decides how long you stake for. You stake longer, you earn more HEX. Another thing that's powerful about staking for longer is you know that you ain't gonna touch it until the stake is done. Then the stake is over. Then you can collect all of the HEX that you accumulated or that like during that time. And like I said, like this is nothing. $95. But the reason that I use such a small amount is because I wanted to show you how significant that very tiny amount can become because of what HEX is. This is the power of HEX. So when you talk about a store of value, and when you hear me say HEX is a better version of Bitcoin, how long has Bitcoin been around for now? 14 years? What was the early prices of Bitcoin? I don't even know how low it was, but it was low. Cents. You see where Bitcoin is now. You see how high Bitcoin has already gone. And we have no idea where Bitcoin will continue to go. But we know that the trajectory has been up and to the right for 14 years. We know that much. I think, where's Bitcoin at right now? Around 43,000, something like that? 43,000 for one Bitcoin. Insanity. So anyway, let me come over real quick, make sure I'm not missing comments. Do you still invest in stocks or just crypto now? I primarily invest in crypto, to be honest. I kind of don't really focus. I don't focus on stocks anymore. Of course, I still have like long-term, just mutual funds and stuff like that I don't touch. But as far as where I'm putting new money, crypto. And to be more specific, I'm putting it inside the HEX ecosystem, period. Yeah, it's a change now allows you to swap. Well, it actually allows you to buy Ethereum and Bitcoin. Change Now lets you buy it. So you can actually, through Change Now, use a credit card, for example. You can use a credit card, buy it, and then you can use your Ethereum or Bitcoin to then buy your Pulse. And you can do all of that on the Change Now exchange. Absolutely. Can you explain the 555 stake ladder that they talk about all the time? 555 is literally just 15 years. And let me just show you. It's the maximum amount that you can stake for. So over in this box here, if you had a 10,000 HEX stake and you staked it for 5555, yeah, 4 fives. If you staked it for 55 days, that's 15 years. The reason that I like to use the 10 is because the 10 is where you max out the bonuses. So anything beyond 10 years, the yield increases, but the bonuses are maxed out at 10 years. So you don't get additional bonuses, but you are earning more yield because the time added on to the 10-year mark is just increasing the amount of yield in those later years after 10 years, if that makes sense. So so for example, we got a 5555 stake, and if you look at how much your yield is, I believe that this is the same amount that you're earning with a 10-year stake. I think so. Like it didn't change. It's the same amount of yield because the bonuses didn't change. So the bonuses max out at 10 years, right? But if you look at the yield on your effective principal, it's more because you had 5 additional years of earning. And your 5 additional years beyond the 10 years of earning, you're earning at the highest APY. So that's why the 5555 stake is so powerful, because it's you tapping into the maximum amount of HEX that you could possibly earn. When you have a 5555 stake, it's the most HEX that you possibly can earn, period. So let's say that you did have a 10,000 stake for 5555. This is showing you what your HEX numbers are looking like. You literally would quadruple the amount of HEX that you started with. So you started with 10,000, you end up with 45,000 between the yield and all of your bonuses and all of that. It produces this amount. So you would end up with 45,000 HEX at the end of 15 years. And the T-shares, I think I saw you mention that also. Did you mention that? Yeah. T-shares are what you're T-shares is what you're buying when you stake. So again, this is built into the code. So when you create a stake, your stake is turning into T-shares. Like it even shows you on the page. Where is it? Yeah, right here. 10,000 HEX is buying you 0.97 T-shares for the amount of time that you're staking for. So let me come back for a second. Let's say I only stake for 1 year, 365. When you come down here, you see how it's only 0.39 T-shares now? So the longer that you stake for, the more T-shares that you end up with. So literally right now, if you put up, and let me look at 10 years for a second. Let me see if that maxes it out. Yeah, so a 10-year stake is maxing out your bonuses, so that's how you get your 0.97 T-shares. So you almost get a full T-share. And that T-share is what is producing the yield on the HEX that you staked. So it's what is producing this 6.32 HEX every day. That T-share. So the more T-shares that you have, meaning the more HEX that you stake, the more HEX that you earn every day. And this becomes so powerful over time because you see how much HEX you are going to end up with because of the stake. So staking allows you to do multiple things. One, it saves you from yourself, so to speak. And what I mean by that is, let's say that you bought, and let me use something realistic. Let's say that you said, you know what? I want to put $1,000 into HEX, right? $1,000. And what you do is your $1,000 is going to buy roughly 106,000 HEX on PulseChain. So let's say of that 106,000 that you literally stake half. So 53,000, right? You stake half. And let's say that you stake half for 10 years. So what you're doing is you're saying, all right, I'm putting $1,000 in HEX right now today. Give me some HEX, $1,000. All right, cool. This is what I would do. Take half that HEX, stake it for 10 years. The other half, I'm going to leave liquid. Okay? Now, y'all stay with me. Let's say over the course of time, say 2 years from now. Let's say 2 years from now, HEX is $1. 2 years from now, I have my 53,000 liquid HEX. So HEX at $1 means that the 53,000 liquid that I have is worth 53,000. Okay? Let's say 5 years from now, HEX is $5. The 53,000 HEX that I have is worth what? $250,000? $250,000 or so at a price of $5, right? This is 5 years from now. So 5 years from now, HEX is $5. I got $250,000 worth of HEX liquid. And it only cost me at the time $500. And let's not forget, 5 years ago, I also staked 53,000 HEX. So the other $500, because I put $1,000 into HEX, remember? So if I took $1,000 and put 500 into staking for 10 years, and the other 500 I leave liquid, it means that as the price of HEX goes up, wherever I'm ready to liquidate and cash in on some of the HEX that I'm holding and liquid, I can do that whenever I feel like it. I got 53,000 HEX to use. So let's say it goes to $5 and I say, you know what? I'm going to take 10,000 HEX and cash out. Give me $50,000. You go in your wallet, you take 10,000 HEX, boom. You swap it out. You get your USDC or whatever. You got 50,000 cash. How much HEX you got left? You got 43,000 HEX liquid, and you still got a stake. You still got a stake of 53,000 HEX that has been earning more HEX every day. Just stay with me. This is 5 years from now. So 5 years from now, you cash in, all right, 50,000, boom. Oh, that was nice. Cashed out a little bit of HEX, man. $50,000. That's cool. Good shit. And I still got it. More HEX left. Let's say HEX goes to $10. Goes to $10. And let's say that it goes to $10 in 7 years. So you're at year 7. HEX is $10. And you can't take it anymore. You say, oh, shit. Damn. I got 43,000 HEX. It's worth $10 a piece. That's $430,000. Give me all my money. Cash out. $430,000. Give me all my money. Right? 7 years from now. Give me all my money. So now you have no HEX left liquid. But what do you have? You still got a HEX stake. So you actually still have HEX. Now, think about what happened. The stake saved you from yourself. When you saw $10 as the price of HEX, you said, oh shit, I'm rich. $430,000, give me my money. That's a natural human reaction, is it not? And this is year number 7. Now what happens? Another few years go by. And you're like, oh shit, HEX is still going up. Damn. And let's say 10 years from now, when your HEX stake is ending, let's say HEX is at $20. Let's take a look. If you got $20 HEX 10 years from now, what does that look like? Remember, Year 7, you cashed out 430,000. So literally, you've cashed out $500,000 as the price of HEX has been going up. $500,000. 10 years goes by. HEX is $20 fucking. I'm just saying, hypothetically. It kept going up. 10 years, price of HEX is $20. You're like, oh shit, I have a stake. That's right, I have a stake. Let me see how much my HEX is worth. Let me see how much HEX I have. You check your wallet and you see you got 175,000 HEX in there. And the price of HEX is $20. And you're a multi-millionaire. I'm just saying, see, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going through all of the psychological, emotional shit that we experience over the course of time. You're going to go through all of these emotions. Now, you would have never had this. You would have never had this HEX if you wouldn't have saved yourself from yourself by staking it. You sold all your liquid HEX in year 7 when you saw that HEX was what did I say it was, $10? You saw HEX was $10 and sold it all. So if you would have had this HEX in addition to the HEX that you sold, you would have sold it all. But you saved yourself from yourself and you left some in a bag. And what you left is producing more HEX. So every day it's actually earning more HEX, more HEX, more HEX, more HEX. And you have no idea where the price of HEX will end up at. Is $20 realistic for 10 years? Hell yeah. Yeah, that shit is realistic. And on top of that, along the way, you had some liquid. So if you get excited or you get beside yourself, go ahead and blow it. Who cares? You know why I'm saying who cares? Because you already made a commitment to yourself to save yourself from yourself by staking. This is the power of staking. Y'all with me? Y'all following me? I hope this is making sense. I hope this is making sense. It make a lot of sense to me. I hope it makes sense to y'all. So this is what staking allows you to do. You're earning more HEX every day for the length of the stake. So you can keep some HEX liquid and you stake some. Whatever you staking, the longer that you stake it for, the more HEX you're producing every day. And you're guaranteeing that you have a bag of HEX at the end of that time. So when they talk about staking ladders, that's what they're referring to. It's like, okay, well, I have one stake that comes due this year. Then another one comes due the next year. Then another one after that. So some people design their stakes where they got one come due, 2023. So one will come due 2025. Another one will come due 2027. Another one will come due 2028, 29, 2030. They got a bunch of stakes. And all of that is cool. You can do it however you want to do it. And I suggest that you just stake whatever you're going to stake. I'm going to just do one-shot deals. Like I have a 5-year stake, and I'm going to do a 10-year stake. My 5-year stake I have on both chains. So I have a stake on HEX on Ethereum for 5 years, and I have a stake on HEX on PulseChain for 5 years. Same amount of HEX on both chains. And what I'm going to do next, my next thing, I'm going to stake another stake on HEX on Ethereum. And I'm going to do a 10-year stake on HEX on Ethereum. And I'm going to build a bigger bag on HEX on PulseChain, and then I'm going to do a 10-year stake on HEX on PulseChain. That's what I'm working on now. So I'm very strategic and I'm planning, but it's simple shit. It's not complicated at all. Like, I'm simplifying it for myself completely. Five-year stake over here, 5-year stake over here, 10-year stake over here, 10-year stake over here. And then I'll hold some liquid. If I get an itch and I see HEX is at $5, I might just, oh shit. Shit, all right, give me a quick 100,000. But it's not affecting my bag. See? So this is the mentality that I'm trying to kind of rub off on you guys when it comes to HEX. HEX is awesome shit, man. Like imagine if you were able to do that with Bitcoin. This is what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure that there are people who bought Bitcoin and then sold it. There's people that bought Bitcoin, sold it at $5. They bought it early, sold it at $5. There's people that bought it at $5, sold it at 20. And they thought that they were the smartest people ever. There's people that bought Bitcoin at $100 and sold it at 500. They thought they were the smartest ever. The thing is that people are buying and they're selling everything. They selling their whole bag. How many people you think bought Bitcoin early and sold their whole bag? I would say probably 90-something% of everybody. Because no one is in the mentality of thinking, well, let me just hold some of it. Let me just keep this over here. I'm gonna lock this up. It's hard to do that when you see the price going up. I'll give you an example. You bought Bitcoin at $100. Then you see Bitcoin is $1,000. You're like, oh shit. Damn. Maybe I should sell now. Well, how much you gonna sell? Shit, I have 1,000 Bitcoin. I'm selling all of that shit. I'm a millionaire. Okay. So you bought Bitcoin at 100, sold it at 1,000. You feel like you're the greatest, and I understand. I get it. Okay, cool. But then Bitcoin goes to 10,000. How you feel now? Then Bitcoin goes to 20,000. Now you don't even want to look at Bitcoin no more. The same Bitcoin that you bought for $100. So you see how you can learn from these mistakes that people made in the past? Anybody that owned Bitcoin early probably doesn't own any Bitcoin now. Unless they lost access to their wallet or whatever the case may be, and they just can't gain access to their wallet. That's probably the only way that anybody that had Bitcoin back then has it now still. Because right now, one Bitcoin is worth $40,000. And if you were early, you had an opportunity to buy hundreds of them, if not thousands of them. How much Bitcoin do you have left? HEX is a better Bitcoin because HEX allows you to do the same thing that Bitcoin allowed people to do. But it's a better version of that for two reasons. One, because it's inflationary. through the code, it produces more of itself just by simply allowing people to commit to time. The longer that you lock it up for, the more you earn. There are people that might create a stake for 5 years, and after 3 years, they emergency end stake because the price went up or the price might have went down. So they're looking like, oh, damn, well, let me just get what I can get out of it. There are people that literally have emergency end stake and sold for a lower price than what they bought it for. Insanity. They don't understand what this is. And this is the same HEX that in the future is going to be $1. It's going to be $2. It's going to be $5. It's going to be $10. Same HEX. It's going to be 20, 50, 100. You don't know where see, this is the thing. Oh, well, it could never reach that. When Bitcoin was $1,000, did anybody that had it at that time think that it would go to 2,000? No. Anybody thought it was going to reach 5,000? Hell no. 10,000? Of course not. 10,000? No. It's at 1,000. Let me sell now. I bought it at 100. That's a 10x for me. Okay. But you forgot what Bitcoin was designed to do. It was designed to be a store of what? Value. It's been doing what it was designed to do. But there's been no mechanism in it to force you, or I should say to help you to save yourself from yourself. If you understood what Bitcoin was, you would have known that there should never come a time where you don't have any. There should never be a time where you don't own any. You should always have some. You see where I'm going? So HEX is allowing us to participate in the same type of opportunity, but there's a huge difference because in the code is the ability to lock up X amount of HEX for X amount of time, which ensures that you won't sell all of the HEX that you have. And it ensures that you're actually earning more HEX every day for that amount of time that is locked up for. Crazy. So you're producing HEX every day through your stake. And at the same time, you're not selling it at all because it's locked up for X amount of time. So you're giving HEX time to appreciate in value. You're giving all of the people out here time to realize what HEX is. See, do y'all understand what I'm saying now? This is what staking is allowing you to do. Staking is allowing you to give everyone else time. The reason we're not seeing any prices yet that we will see is because nobody knows about HEX. Only the HEX community knows about HEX. Nobody else knows yet. What happens when people start finding out what HEX is? Oh shit, you can earn more HEX? Really? How does that work? What happens when people start running into my streams? What happens when people start running into this information? They do a search and they're like, what is HEX? And they just so happen to run into one of the streams that I've done. What happens then? I'm just saying, like, so this is what time is allowing us to do. Not to mention the fact that HEX and the HEX ecosystem and each coin is unique within its own right. Like PulseChain has its own purpose. It's a layer 1 blockchain. PulseX has its own purpose. It's a DEX. That's where we swap our coins. And it has buy and burn built into it. Like it has all of these things are contributing to the future value of all of these coins. And right now I'm just talking about HEX. Just HEX. It's crazy, y'all. Crazy. Hold on. I gotta get my my cord and plug it in. Just sit tight for a second.
Sent from heaven. Sent from heaven. Now you can wait your whole life wondering when it's gonna come or where it's been. You may have got your heart broken a few times in the past. Never last as strong as it used to. It don't feel as good as it used to before. And all the things you used to say, things you used to do, went right out the door. Ooh, no more will you be the one. That's what you tell everyone around you. But you know they've heard it all before. What more can you say? When love won't let you walk away, just you can't help who you love. And you find yourself giving it all away when you think you're in love. Ooh, 'cause I wanna be the one who you believe in your heart is sent from heaven. There's a piece of me who leaves when you're gone because you're sent from heaven. I wanna be the one who you believe in your heart is sent from heaven. And there's a piece of me who leaves when you're gone because you're sent from heaven. Now you can wait your whole life trying to change what they feel from what's been. You may have put your whole life into a man, loving what you thought it could have been. Don't notice when you change and you don't feel as good as you used to before. And everything you used to say, everything you used to do, went right out the door. Ooh, no more will you be the one. That's what you tell everyone around you. But you know they've heard it all before. What more can you say? When love won't let you walk away and it can't help who it loves. And you find yourself giving it all away when you think you're in love. 'Cause I wanna be the one who you believe in your heart is sent from heaven. There's a piece of me who leaves when you're gone because you're sent from heaven. I wanna be the one who you believe in your heart is sent from heaven. And there's a piece of me who leaves when you're gone because you're sent from. Everybody say I wanna be the one you love. I wanna be.
All right, I had to save this laptop before it died. All right. So the stake allows you to not miss out if you're greedy. There you go. And not if you're greedy. People are greedy. We all are greedy. But some people are greedy and stupid at the same time. Like they just do dumb shit. Like some people out here selling their HEX or whatever to try to buy Bitcoin now. Because Bitcoin's going up. Like that's retarded. But you can't tell folks nothing. So question, does the stake buy and reinvest the HEX for you for 5 years straight? What the stake does is HEX is inflationary. So there is it's a little intricate, but it's not really too complicated to understand. HEX increases, or it has built-in inflation every year. I think it's 3.65% or something like that. So what happens is the contract allows the holders of HEX to receive that inflation. So we're receiving the inflation similar to the same way that for Bitcoin, people used to mine Bitcoin, and the miners of the Bitcoin receive the inflation of the Bitcoin that was produced. So if you were a Bitcoin miner, you were receiving the inflation of the Bitcoin as your reward. So HEX functions similar to that, but instead of it going to miners who have to build all of this equipment and have, fast computers and basically use electricity and energy to run these computers that are capable of mining 1 Bitcoin, instead of that process taking place, we can just stake the HEX and we receive the rewards. So it's like we're the miners. We're mining the HEX. HEX has the built-in inflation where there's a certain percentage of the HEX that is available. It goes up every year. So we receive that inflation, plus we receive bonuses for anytime someone breaks the contract of a stake. So for example, let's say that someone created a stake for 3 years. Your stake has to run for half the time in order for you to get your principal back if you emergency end stake. So you won't receive any of the yield because you're breaking the contract by emergency end staking. So anytime someone emergency end stakes, they break the contract. Question is, when did they do it? If half the time has gone by for that stake, you'll get your principal back, but you won't earn any yield. If, let's say 3/4 of the time goes by, there's a penalty or there's a reduction in the amount of yield that you're receiving because you're ending the stake early. So all of those penalties and anything as far as someone breaking the contract, those penalties are what go to the holders of HEX as those bonuses and whatnot that make up your continuous yield that you're getting. So there, if you look at how much HEX you actually earn in a day on your actual HEX, some days we earn more than other days because you have people emergency end staking. You got people doing a bunch of shit and breaking their stakes. Anytime someone does that, a portion of it goes to the actual originating address, which is called the OA. So that supply gets removed. And then the other portion of the penalties go to the actual holders of HEX. So the longer that you hold your HEX for, the fact that you're committing to the amount of time that you staked for, all of that is what is contributing to the yield that you end up earning for HEX. So you just earn more and more HEX every day, every day. The longer that you stake for, the more you earn every day. And this is why I said, well, stake a little bit. I just showed you numbers for staking 10,000 HEX. It's insane. 10,000 HEX today is only worth $95. But what's 10,000 HEX going to be? And not even just 10,000. See, that's the thing. Like if you have a stake for 5 years, just like I mentioned a moment ago, I have stakes 4 or 5 years, right? And I'm gonna use the same numbers I used before. So 5 years, we'll say HEX is at $1.50. What's my 5-year stake? I think my 5-year stake is 50,000 HEX. But I'll use 48,000 because I want to get the number closer to what it actually is. So 1825. Let me see what my number over here is. That's the number I'm looking for. 85. Yeah, so around 85,000 is what I'll end up with at the end of 5 years. So right now I have a stake on Ethereum HEX and a stake on PulseChain for HEX. Roughly 50,000 on each one for 5 years. You can see here what the numbers are. So I have about 3 T shares, and those T shares are what are producing the yield each day of HEX that you're earning. So literally I'm earning roughly around 20 HEX a day over the next 5 years on each of these stakes. So my stake, this is on PulseChain. My stake on PulseChain is earning about 20 HEX a day. I got 3 T shares for my stake. At the end of the 5 years, this is what I'll end up with. Roughly about 85,000 HEX. So the same 48,000 HEX or 50,000 HEX that I started with, I'm going to end up with damn near twice as much. So roughly about around 85,000 HEX. And if HEX is at $1.50 at that time, this is showing you what it would be worth. So look at this in comparison to what it's worth today. It's only worth about 450 bucks today. That's how much it cost me. But what's it going to be worth 5 years from now? What if HEX is $5 5 years from now? HEX might be $5 5 years from now. Who knows? If HEX is $5, you can see the numbers. Look, see the number in green? I ain't even gonna say it, but that's what the stake is gonna be worth. That's what it'll be worth. Let's say HEX is only 50 cents. See the number in green? That's what it'll be worth. So again, save yourself from yourself. The idea is to make sure that you have HEX, period. I want to have a bag of HEX. Not just now, but later too. Because whatever HEX does now, as far as price goes, if I decide to cash out, whenever I do, I'm only cashing out my liquid HEX. I ain't cashing out all my HEX. That's why I'm creating these stakes, to make sure that I have HEX put to the side that is producing more HEX every day. So I end up with an even bigger bag than the actual amount of HEX that I staked because of how HEX is designed. Powerful shit. And this is the contract. The code is they. It's not a person doing this. Like, this is what I was saying earlier about what HEX isn't. HEX is not a company. It's code. It's the same way that Bitcoin is. Bitcoin don't have an office. Ain't no office for Bitcoin. There's no board. There's no management team. There's no corporation. Even if you took away exchanges where you can buy Bitcoin, you don't stop Bitcoin. You'll always be able to get Bitcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin is immutable. The code, I should say the code. The code is immutable. It doesn't change. It can't change. Nobody can change it. People have tried. People have tried to copy it. All type of shit. But Bitcoin is still here. Bitcoin is where the majority of people in crypto have their money. Again, what happens when people find out about HEX? HEX is a better version of Bitcoin. So in other words, HEX is actually serving the original purpose of Bitcoin, even at a more powerful level, because you can, by design, lock up the coin to prevent yourself from selling it. So like I said, you could have took $1,000 today, bought some HEX. Like I'm just showing you this. You literally can take $1,000 today. And where's my page at? Take $1,000 and you put 500 of it into HEX as a stake. So you stake 53,000 and you stake that bad boy for 10 years. So half the HEX that you bought, you paid $1,000, you bought 106,000 HEX right now, today. You stake half of it, 10 years. 10 years, where's HEX is going to be? Who knows? We'll say HEX is at $3. 10 years from now, HEX is at $3. This is how much HEX you end up with, 175,000. And mind you, it doesn't matter what happened between now and 10 years because you still got 53,000 liquid HEX. Remember, you only staked half of it. You got the best of both worlds. So you get an itch, you can scratch it. Remember, HEX got to go through all of these prices to get to where it's going. So HEX is going to be $1. It'll be $1. When it hits $1, you got 53,000 liquid HEX. That's worth 53,000. You might want to cash out all of it then. I don't know. It could be at $1 next year. You see that dollar, oh man, I got 50,000 in my 50,000? You might be that dude. I don't know. You sell it all. But you didn't sell it all. See, if you're doing what I'm telling you, you won't sell it all. You'll only be able to sell what you can sell now. But there's still going to be HEX staked, producing yield every day. You'd be still over here earning 33 HEX a day. Even after you scratched your itch and you couldn't take it no more. You saw $50,000 in value in your coin, in your wallet, and you said, fuck that, I'm out. And you sell it all. You do that next year. All right, well, hey, it is what it is. You might be that dude. Or you could be the dude, you know what, I'll just take 10,000 out. So you sell 10,000 HEX, you get $10,000. Cool. Take $10,000, go on a vacation. Who gives a fuck? Do whatever you want to do. I don't give a shit what you do. But you're thinking a little smarter if you're this dude. Because you're like, well, give me 10 racks. I still got 40,000 HEX in there. Then another year from now, HEX is at $3. You're like, oh shit. Damn, my 40,000 HEX, man, that shit is worth 120,000 now. You know what? Give me 20 more thousand. So you sell 20,000 worth of HEX. You got $100,000 in value left at $3. So you still got 30-some thousand HEX left. Then HEX goes up again. Now it's at $5. You got 50,000 HEX at $5. Now it's worth $150,000. The HEX you have left. You're like, man, this shit just keep going up. Oh man, this is nice. Give me another 50,000. Still got 20,000 left. You see where I'm going? This is just with your liquid HEX. So as price goes up, you can scratch your itch however many times you want to or however you want to scratch it. But there's no way in the world that you're going to sell all your HEX. Because you saved yourself from yourself by staking it. That's it. Do an emergency end stake so it doesn't lock you in they should have that option. Wait, is that what you're saying? Emergency end stake so it doesn't lock you in. They should have that option. You can emergency end stake, but you'll be penalized. You can emergency end stake and you'll be penalized. If you see, first of all, you have to go through at least half of the time of the stake. So if you stake for 5 years, 2.5 years has to go by before you are able to collect your principal back, just what you staked in the beginning. So if you stake 10,000, 2.5 years has to go by just for you to get back 10,000. If you try to emergency end stake before that, you get back nothing. It all goes back to the OA. That's why I see, and this is what I'm saying. Like if you're saying to yourself, well, you know, what if I have to emergency end stake? The way that I'm showing you how to do it is so that you don't have to emergency end stake anything. There is no end stake. There's none of that. Stake it and forget it. And nobody better take my shit either. If you ever hear somebody say stake it and forget it, you'll know where that came from. I said that. Stake it and forget it. That's the idea. You stake it and you forget it. Whatever that stake is for, when that stake is over, that's when you collect all of the HEX that you earned as yield. See, that's how you're able to collect all of this HEX that you end up with. You see all of this HEX over here? Total payout, 175,000. So if you stake 53,000, and again, what's 53,000? Where'd that come from? 53,000 is half of the $1,000 that you bought. This is just a hypothetical example of how a person can go about doing this. You take $1,000, you buy HEX. You buy 106,000 HEX at today's price. You take half of that, 53,000 HEX. You stake it for 10 years. Other 53,000 stays in your wallet liquid. As HEX goes up in price, wherever you get the itch, you can scratch it using the liquid HEX. Your stake remains. Leave it alone. Stake it and forget it. And what is happening is your stake is doing this. It's producing yield. That stake is earning you 33 HEX a day on average. Every year, 12,000 a year for the next 10 years. At the end of the 10 years, you got 100. You end up with about 175,000 HEX. That's more than twice. That's more than 2 times what you started with. So in total, you more than 3x'd your HEX. $10 you 3x your HEX. I'm rhyming and all that. So this is the HEX that you staked. It doesn't even include the liquid HEX. If you get an itch and you need HEX to sell, whatever, you got liquid HEX for that. This is how you do it. Whatever HEX you buy, you take half and stake it. The other half, you leave liquid. That's how you do it. Hey, there should be no emergency end staking. Because you don't have to stake all of it. Stake half of it. So hopefully that makes sense. I've been crip walking on the fence of keeping my little 2,500 XLM or swapping it for 50,000 plus Hex. I ain't gotta tell you what I would do. I ain't gotta tell you what I would do. So you saying right now that 2,500 XLM can get you 50,000 more, 50,000 Hex? Shit. Well, in general, I mean, I'll share with you guys kind of what my goals are, at least a few of them. One of my first goals was to reach 250,000 Hex. I broke that, and this is Hex on Ethereum. My first goal was to get to 250. My ultimate goal is to get to 1 million Hex, and I'm hoping to be able to do that. I would say between now and like March or April, because by the time April comes, things are going to happen as far as like the Bitcoin halving, and I think that we're gonna be shifting more into the bull market. So you'll see prices starting to go up. Prices down here, this is how you really can build a bigger bag. See, I had mentioned this on another stream also. Originally, you know what my first goal for Hex was? It was 100,000 Hex. And back in January, I had paid, I think it was $1,600 for 50,000 Hex. That's how much it costs. 50,000 Hex, I think I paid $1,600 if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. Now, the same amount of Hex, and let me see what it costs now. Let me come over here. And this is Hex on Ethereum. Yeah, right now, Hex on Ethereum, 50,000 Hex is $273. So the same amount of Hex that I spent $1,600 on only costs $273 right now. So my goal at that time was 100,000 Hex. I'm like, let me just get up to 100,000 and I'll feel good. But look at what the price of it now is. Look how much it costs now. A few weeks back, and let me see if I can see exactly when this was. Let me look at this chart real quick. Go up to market. Hex on Ethereum. Yeah, back here. So 30-day. Let me look at 30-day. Because I'll tell you right now where the price was. No, I got to go back further than that. Got to go back further than that. This chart don't really let you zoom in, but you can look at the days. But anyway, it was over here. It was right before it took off in October. You see this low price over here, 0.003, October 13th. I bought 50,000 Hex that day. I bought 50,000 Hex, and I believe I paid $150 for 50,000 Hex. The same Hex I bought for $1,600 in January. And right now, 50,000 Hex is $273. So I'm still buying it. But eventually, the same 50,000 Hex is going to be $1,000. Then it's going to be back up to $1,500, $1,600. Same price I paid in January. You see what I'm saying? So the price of Hex is going to continue to go up as we progress into the bull market. The bull market is right here. It's right around the corner. Going into early 2024 and just the year of 2024 going into 2025. This is the bull market time. This is when prices are going to go up for this cycle. So because the market moves through cycles, it goes through the periods where the price is on a constant decline. And during that time is when you have the opportunity to accumulate more of the asset. That's just what this is. So for me, I'm like, listen, we at the lows, like we're at the bottom, or at least still close to it. We're not at the very, very bottom right now, but we're still close to it. So I still want to build up my bag while I have the chance to at these lower prices. It's like buying something that's valuable on sale at a huge discount because you know what the value is going to be later. I want as much of it as I possibly can buy now. So anyway, so that's what my goal is. That's what my goal is. Did I say what my goal is? What did I say? Well, okay. So my goal was 100,000. My goal now, ultimately, I want 1 million HEX. That's what I want. I want 1 million HEX on Ethereum. And I probably want like 300,000 HEX on PulseChain. Something like that. I already have a bag of Pulse. I already have a bag of PulseX. I actually think I want to get more PulseX also. I do want to get more PulseX as well. So specifically right now, I'm focusing on PulseX and on HEX on PulseChain. Those two in particular. Because I did already reach my first goal for HEX on Ethereum. Remember, my first goal was 250,000. I'm talking about my new goals, not the old one back in January when it cost $1,600 for 50,000. Now HEX is $270 for 50,000. And am I looking at the right HEX? Yeah, HEX on Ethereum. Yes. Yep. So 50,000 HEX on Ethereum, $273. 50,000 HEX on PulseChain right now, $463. So I want HEX on PulseChain. And I also want some more PulseX. Yeah, I want to get up to, I want to add on to like another 50 million PulseX. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 50, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 50 million PulseX right now costs $747. 50 million PulseX. See, like, I don't know. I think different, man. I think different. I see opportunity when opportunity is there. And that's when I work my hardest to build and take advantage of the opportunity presented. So these are very strong goals, in my opinion, to have, especially considering what is going to happen as we move into the bull market. See, because another thing that's going to happen is you're going to see prices go up fast. If you look back at this chart, you see that move up, the most recent one. Let me show y'all. And let me zoom in. That ain't what I meant to do. Can it zoom in anymore? Yeah. Zoom in a little bit more. All right. Yeah, you see this most recent move up right here? Where my mouse is? That move? That move happened quick. Like days. So you had October 13th. The 13th to the 13th to the 22nd. How many days is that? 9 days? 9 days, the price tripled. That little move from down here to up here, that's a 3x in 9 days. So when we move into the bull market and we're fully in the bull market, those moves are going to be fast and they're going to be significant. It's not going to take long. So this is why this accumulation period is so important, because you need to take advantage of the low prices while you have a chance to and build your bag up. That's just what it is. I'm just going to keep building the bag. These prices move quick. Because it happened also right before PulseChain launched. This was back in May. Damn, there's a chart that I had. I have it on my other laptop. Hold on. Let me get the address for it. That's what it is. It's hexchart.com. Hold on. Hexchart.com. Let me open this up real quick, because I want to show you guys how fast the market starts moving. Them up moves is crazy. All right, log, auto. I don't like these colors at all. Hold on. Yeah, let's change these colors. Blue. 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 All right, blue, 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 blue. Where we at? Blue. Color bars based on previous close. I guess. I don't know. Appearance. Make this black background. The vertical lines, make those white. Horizontal lines, white. Session breaks. What's that? Scales text, make that white. Crosshairs, make that white. All right, that should do it. Let me switch to this page. Hexchart.com. So this shows the price of this is Hex on Ethereum, right? And auto. Yeah, so this this shows the whole history of the Hex price. When you zoom out, it gets real small. But what I want to show y'all. Oh, this right here. So this move here. So this is what I actually did. And do they have a box on here? A rectangle or something? Where's the rectangle? I don't see rectangle. That's the only thing about this. This takes some getting used to. This shit is annoying a little bit. It's a little annoying. Little annoying. Let me see if I can at least trend line. Do I want to use a trend line? Arrow. Let me try with an arrow. Let me see something. What kind of arrow is this? This shit is. You gotta make it all. You gotta make it way bigger. Like, come on, man. I need it bigger. Man, I do not know how to use this platform at all. Like, I totally suck. Oh, there it is. All right, make that bigger. And we will use blue, light blue. Let's see how that looks. This arrow look trash. This arrow look garbage, man. Damn. That's the wackest. This is the wackest looking arrow ever. Let me stop. I'm just joking. But yeah, this arrow kind of do suck though. This is kind of whack. But anyway, we're gonna use it. So this is around the time I started buying HEX. This is January. Yes, right around here. This is when I started buying HEX. Right where the arrow is. Let me duplicate this. Clone, right? Yeah, clone this. Bring this over here. So I started buying HEX back here. And I basically bought HEX in this area. When it started moving up, I wasn't buying it no more. I wasn't buying it all in here. I had, excuse me. Sorry about that. I already built my bag in here. Or at least what I thought was going to be my bag at the time. I had over 100,000 HEX in here. And I want to put a box there, but I don't see where they have boxes on here. Oh, they got all they do got arrows and stuff. Goodness. Yeah, this is a better looking arrow. Where is it? Where's this arrow? Let me change the color. Where is it? Shit all the way over here. All right, that's a much better looking arrow. Goodness gracious. Get this out of here. All right, so let's use this arrow. All right. Let me see if they got a box in here. Do they have a box in here? All these, I don't even know, what do you call these? All this shit in here, I don't see no box. Damn. I want a box. Where's the box? Brush, pitchfork, arrow. How about box? I don't see box. How about that? What's this? Trendline tools. Why wouldn't a box be in here? I don't understand. What the hell, man? Like my OCD is messing with me heavily. If you haven't noticed. Fuck it. Here's a box. Now where's the box? Oh, this is what this? I'm not using that. Get that shit out of here. I'm not using. I don't even know what that is. GAN box. What the hell is that? Anyway. So what was I even trying to show y'all? All right, so this is back in the area where I was buying HEX. What I was trying to say is that I bought HEX in this area. Back in this area, okay? And by the time HEX started moving higher, I wasn't buying anymore. My bag I had and my stakes that I created, that was it. Once we got over here, this was around the time that PulseChain launched. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in here, I bought more HEX because it was right before PulseChain was about to launch. And remember that when we bought the HEX, whatever amount of HEX that we owned on Ethereum, we were going to receive that amount on PulseChain. So I had bought some more HEX in here, right? Mind you, look at where the price was. The price was 5 cents. It was a nickel. So I bought more HEX, but it wasn't a lot because the price was higher. You're following me? Now, PulseChain launches. What happens to the price of HEX? It does all of this shit. You see this day right here? I think this was the day price went up to 8 cents. So it went up to 12 cents back here. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm trying to establish where I am. All right. So let me put this arrow over here and replace this with a better arrow. All right. So this is when I started buying HEX. HEX went up as high as 12 cents. Now look at the time. So this is January to March. January 12th, thereabout, to March 22nd. So a little under 2 months. You see how little time that is? Within less than 2 months, the price moved from around between 2 and 3 cents to 12 cents. So technically, it moved from a low of 2 cents to 12 cents. That's a 6X. Did a 6X in a month and change. Mind you, nothing is really going on. During this time, people are still waiting for PulseChain, but people have already been waiting for PulseChain for 2 years because the sacrifice for PulseChain was back in 2021. Back here somewhere. I forgot when it was exactly. The sacrifice for PulseChain was back here. When HEX was still moving up. This was when I first was introduced to HEX. Coincidentally. Right in this area. I built my bag here early. We saw this move up, and then the market has been moving lower ever since the launch of PulseChain. Because we are in a bear market. So my point is that as the market has been moving lower, prices have been going down, meaning HEX has been becoming less expensive. So I've been buying HEX all the way down. As it's been moving lower, I've been buying HEX. I built a bigger bag of HEX. I built up a bag of PulseChain, built up a bag of PulseX. We had subsequent moves. HEX became even cheaper, even down here. Like I said, I bought 50,000 hex down here for $150, y'all. $150. The same hex that the same hex I bought over here, 50,000. I paid $1,600 back here. Over here, I paid 150. You see what I'm doing? Back here, my goal was 100,000 hex. Over here, I'm like, shit, I want 1,000,000 hex, damn it. When I bought that 50,000 hex for $150, I said to myself, I want 1,000,000 hex now. What happens as soon as I say that? Price takes off. So price is doing all of this right. It's just shooting up. I ain't buy shit in here. I didn't buy as it was going up. I'm like, damn, I might have missed my opportunity. But now the price has been coming lower, opening up the door of opportunity once again. See, and the reason that I'm doing this is because I'm showing you how opportunity presents itself. Notice how each time that the prices are becoming lower and lower, that's the time that I'm buying. These are the times I'm building the bag bigger. When I see these moves up, I don't do nothing. Because there's going to come a time where these moves up will keep going up. Watch this. Look at this. This was the bull market. This was the bull market. You see how this moves up, then it comes back a little, move up again, come back, up, come back, up, come back, up, come back, up. This is the bull. Come back, up. The bull just keeps propelling the price higher because people like to chase the green candles, or in this case, the blue candles. When the bull market is running, people are buying. And you got to understand that this is HEX, so this is just a very small number of people buying. This was the first cycle of HEX. And I don't even want to go back and talk about when HEX first launched and what the prices were and how you could have got 1,000,000 HEX for $100. I don't even want to do that. I want to think about it because it's not that it bothers me. It's mind blowing when you think about it. It's like, well, damn. I'm over here now talking about I want 1,000,000 HEX, and HEX is here. I can't get 1,000,000 HEX for $100 here. I can't get 1,000,000 HEX for $100 here. But if you look at the price here relative to where it's been, you know that price is going back up here. And not only is it going back up here, it's going to go even past that. Because that's what shit does. This is what the bull market does. When that bull market comes and you start seeing the prices just go up, when you look at the chart ain't going to look like how you see it now. All of these moves that you're seeing, they ain't going to look the same. If you look at the log chart, and I don't know if y'all can really see this because the candles are so small, but anyway, this is the, well, actually, no, this is not the log chart. This is the linear chart. If you look at the linear chart, all of this looks like it's like it's just sideways moves. Like all of these little, this looks like nothing. And then look at the bull market move. Look at where we are now. This movement here, this looked like nothing. This is where we are now. Look at this. This looks like nothing. Remember when it looked like nothing back here? Remember this? It looked like nothing until it was something. What's this? This is the bull cycle. Look at where we are now. Look at this. Look familiar? What you think gonna happen next? So this is again my point. I'm pointing out the fact that these prices are not gonna last forever, and I'm showing it to you this way so that you see the way that it ends up looking on the chart. Like, look at the chart. We down here. When that bull market comes, you're gonna see shit up here. So what you're doing now, all of this activity now, this is what counts as far as you building up your bag. Because the same way that when you actually look at this as a log chart, where we are now is not anywhere near where HEX was back here. Matter of fact, let me put a line. I'm going to put a line where the price is now. Let me see if I could do that. Horizontal line. So this is where the price is right now. Yeah, let me make this bigger. Make it blue. Make it big. Pause. Matter of fact, we'll make it lime green so it look bright. There you go. This is where the price is right now. Now, look at this. This was the first year of HEX. Where the price is now is down compared to where it's been at the top. But where the price is now, look at these prices that you'll never see again. Everything under this line, you ain't never gonna see again. And matter of fact, let me take the low. Let me move this down to the low. This is more like it. Everything under this line, we ain't see none of these prices ever again. None of these. So the activity that took place during the first 5 months of HEX, we'll never see those prices again. And the next bull market that's coming up, where we are now at these lows, this will do something similar to what this has done back here, where we're going to be able to draw a line after this next bull cycle is finished, and then we have the new bear cycle. Whatever that bottom is, we won't be seeing these prices ever again either. So you see how these cycles work? You ain't never going to see these prices again. And you can do the same thing with Bitcoin. Do the same thing with Bitcoin or Ethereum. You had big moves up, big ass moves down. But when those moves come down, you never get the prices that you got in that previous cycle at the lows. It's a real crazy dynamic. So when you understand this, you'll realize that the time and the window of opportunity is not as big as you think it is to actually build up your bag before that next bull cycle comes. So for HEX, this is the second bull cycle coming up. It only had one cycle before this because this launched in 2019. So it's only 4 years old. Bitcoin is 14 years old. So HEX is already done from the bottom. I think it's like a 15 or 16,000 X up to the all-time high. And it did that in the first 2 years. In the first bull cycle. So if you were building your bag at the lower prices, you built a big bag. See, I'm not missing this. This is what I said back in February on my Facebook post. I missed Bitcoin. I missed Ethereum. I am not going to miss HEX. I ain't going to miss this. This is different, man. This is different. We in a whole different time, and the dynamic is just totally different now. It's not difficult to understand like what this is when you actually just take the time to educate yourself on it. And if you watch my streams, you'll become educated on it. Because as soon as I started learning about what all of this is, I started sharing the information. So the education is here. We've been on here for 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's kind of crazy. All right, so listen, did y'all have any other questions? If y'all had some more questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, because the stock market is what everybody's familiar with. No, like crypto is too new for people to care that much about it. Like only people that realize that there's a realistic opportunity in crypto are going to start looking at it. What happens is that when things are in the mainstream, that's when people start to look. Like somebody got to show them. Like somebody has to actually take the time to show and talk about it. So if you got somebody that's mainstream popular in media talking about Bitcoin, that's when people draw their attention to Bitcoin. But of course, it's going to be after Bitcoin is up. Like right now, Bitcoin is at 40-some thousand. Watch what happens when Bitcoin is back at 60,000. Watch what happens when Bitcoin hits 80 and 90 and 100,000. And people are saying, oh, it's not going to hit that much. You don't know what it's going to do. You ain't think it was going to ever go over 20,000. People thought that it would be stuck under 20,000 forever. Like, nah, 20,000, that's it. Not only did it break above 20,000, the shit, it 3x from there. It went from 20 to 68,000 in the bull market. Did you know that? And what did you do? You started buying when it was 60,000, didn't you? This is what mainstream does. Mainstream people are stupid. They're silly because they follow what happens afterwards, which is not how you become wealthy. That's not how you make the real money. You make the real money when nobody cares. This is why I'm excited about this. People don't care about this shit yet. They don't care about HEX. They don't care about PulseChain yet. They don't even know what it is. What's PulseChain? They don't even know what this shit is yet. That's exactly how I like it. That's what I want. Because guess what will happen when people start asking me about it? I'm going to have a bunch of it. Have a bunch of it. This, see, like, all right, well, we in what, 2023? When 2024 come and 2025 come, and you get that friend that hits you up like, yo, you heard about this thing called HEX? Yo, you heard about this thing called PulseChain? Yeah, I hear. This is what people are gonna say. Oh, I hear such and such. And whatever they heard about it, then they'll say I hear, and it'll be followed by whatever they heard. But here you are, you've been accumulating all of this shit since 2023. This is how this works, man. Yeah, me too. I'll be like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. And this is why I like DeFi, because we'll have all of these coins and be wealthy as fuck, And nobody will know. The only people that'll know is whoever you tell. Ain't nobody else gonna know. You don't know what I got in my wallet, bruh. You have no idea. And you can't find out. You don't know it's me. You don't know what my transactions are. You don't know nothing. Come on, man. This shit is different. This is different, y'all. Right, I can't hear nothing. I'm on the water. I don't get no reception. You breaking up. Hello? You breaking up. Oh man. Yeah, because people don't know nothing, man. They don't know anything. They trying to trade crypto. I done said it a 1,000 times. Stop trading crypto. This is buy and hold. That's what this is. Whether it's Bitcoin or HEX. How long I've been talking about Bitcoin now? And I'm super late to Bitcoin. But when I first started talking about Bitcoin was $600. This is when we were buying it out the ATM. This is back when you couldn't even, Coinbase online did not exist yet. There was no Coinbase yet. We had to buy Bitcoin literally out of an ATM machine at the bodega. This is how I first started buying Bitcoin. From the corner store. Come on, man. Come on. Is Hex Scout the new spot to convert your Ethereum to wrapped Ethereum to Hex? Walker, watch this stream again from the beginning because I talk about PulseLN. I don't even do any of that anymore. What I do now is, matter of fact, let me ask you what you're doing. How do you get Ethereum or Bitcoin now? Let me do this before I get off, because this will be helpful for others also. How do you get your Ethereum or your Bitcoin now? Oh shit. It's all good. That's funny, man. That shit is funny. I'm good. I'm good. I do still got a little bit though. A little bit of PTSD. You ain't lying. I mess with the pool. I ain't messing with the ocean. Oh, what else I was about to say something else. Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. It might come back to me. Yeah, Carrie knows where I'm going. But Walker, that question was for you. I don't know if you heard what I just asked. How do you get your Ethereum or your Bitcoin currently? Because I'm going to use whatever you say as the example on how you can do it. How do you get your Bitcoin or your Ethereum? Come on, Walker. I ain't got all night. He ain't answer yet. I hope you ain't walk away. Right above Carrie's comment. There's nothing above there. I think you thought that you typed it, but you ain't typed nothing. Am I bugging or do you? I don't see a comment from Walker above Carrie's comment there. Do y'all? Maybe I don't see it. Is there a comment? Do y'all see a comment from Walker above Carrie's comment? Walker, just repaste it because there ain't nothing there. At least not on my end. Okay, thank you. Jesus. Yeah, I don't think that you sent it. I think that you probably meant to send it but didn't send it. So you get Ethereum on Coinbase, send it to MetaMask, and now I'm fitting to convert to HEX. Okay, so this is how you can do it. Take your Ethereum on Coinbase, right? And go to this website. Where is it? Go to this website. This is PulseX. Right? Take your Ethereum that you got on your coin from Coinbase in the same wallet. You don't have to send it to MetaMask. Take your Coinbase wallet with the Ethereum in it and go to this site. Oh, it's on MetaMask. Okay, so if it's on MetaMask, that's fine too. It doesn't matter which wallet it's in. So it can be in your MetaMask wallet or it can be in Coinbase. It doesn't matter. But take that Ethereum from whatever wallet it is in, go to this site, and on this site, this is PulseLN. The link for this is right underneath the video. Matter of fact, I'm going to paste it in the chat. Let me paste it in the chat real quick. That's the link. What I just pasted. PulseLN. When you get here, right here where, well, let me refresh because let me show you what it looks like. First, you got to agree. This is where you first come to. You agree, then you'll see this box here for Binance. When you click on the drop down, you'll see the options appear for what coins you can use. So you can use Bitcoin, you can use Ethereum. In your case, you got Ethereum already, right? You type in how much Ethereum you want to send to get Pulse. So this will already be on Pulse. Leave it on Pulse. Okay? Leave this on Pulse. Take your Ethereum and however much Ethereum you get, whatever it is. Let's say for, is that right? 04? 04. So let's say you got $100. If you got $100 in your wallet, it's 04. Or let's 041. Okay, 041. So you got 041 Ethereum. Take your 0.041 Ethereum. Come down here. Take your Pulse address. And as a matter of fact, wait, let me think about this. Because you said you have it in MetaMask. So you have Ethereum in MetaMask. Yeah, so do it this way, like I'm saying, because you have Ethereum on the Ethereum mainnet. And what you're trying to do is get it onto the Pulse side so that you can use this Pulse and swap this Pulse for HEX. So just stay with me. So take your Ethereum, wherever it is. If it's in MetaMask, cool. If it's in Coinbase, cool. Doesn't matter. Take that Ethereum and then you buy however much Pulse you can buy with it. So if you got about $100 worth of Ethereum, this is how much Pulse you'll get. 1.6 million Pulse, right? And you put your PLS address from your MetaMask wallet in here. So your PulseChain wallet address you put here, and when you come here, you just click on confirm. Another thing also about this website, use a VPN. I repeat, you guys, I know that the majority of you by now have a VPN. Use a VPN. Use a VPN, because if this is detecting that you're using a browser from the US, it may not let you do the swap. So you got to use a VPN. Okay. So you do this, and then you'll have your Ethereum converted into Pulse instantly. It happens instantly. When you have your Pulse, now you can go to PulseX, to the app, and you can swap the Pulse that you have for HEX. And that's how you do it. That's how I'm doing it. That's how I'm doing it. So it's really like, and I love it because it's instant. So as soon as you take your Ethereum or your Bitcoin and you send it to buy your Pulse, you get it instantly. It happens right there. Boom, it's done. And when you see your Pulse appear in your wallet, then you take your Pulse and you swap the Pulse for whatever HEX you want. So you can, on PulseChain, you can swap for Pulse HEX, or I should say HEX on PulseChain, and you can swap for HEX on Ethereum on PulseChain. You can actually swap for either one. Either one of them you can get. And let me show you something. Where is it? Where is the PulseX? All right, let me do this. Let me do this. Right, VPN first. Okay, so you got the block region, right? So use your VPN, and when you use your VPN, it'll let you do it. It will let you do it. It will let you do it. Let me see. I was about to do something. What was I about to do? Oh, PulseX. All right, let me switch this screen out. All right, so when you go to PulseX.com, let me show you what happens. You open up the app. So you go to where it says trade right here, app.pulsex.com. This is what comes up now. It's just one extra click. So this is all a part of the decentralized effort that has been done for the entire HEX ecosystem. Because this is the same thing that appears when you go to gohex.com. So all of these sites now PulseX, GoHex.com, even PulseChain. When you go there, it's just one extra click that you have to do. Like there's an actual process that you can actually run everything from your actual computer. I didn't do all that. I just go ahead and I click the link for the IPFS. So when you click on it, it opens up the app. See, here's the app. So now you'll have Pulse in your wallet. So when you connect your wallet here, your Pulse will be there. And then you can come here and you can swap that Pulse for either HEX on PulseChain or for HEX on Ethereum. You see how both of them are here? So if you're swapping for HEX on Ethereum, right? What was it? 1.6 million Pulse? It was like 1.6 million Pulse on that other site, right? For PulseLN. So this is going to show you how much HEX on Ethereum you'll receive in exchange for the Pulse. Let's see if it pops up. It should show you here how much HEX you'll get. I know this thing is a little slow. It's trying to get the best price. Oh, yeah. I don't even think y'all can see this tab. Hold on. My bad. This is the tab I want you to see. And let me zoom in a little bit. All right, there we go. So you see, I just typed in 1.6 million Pulse, and it's gonna show how much HEX I'll be able to get, or at least it's supposed to. This should be acting slow sometimes. Let me refresh this. So 1.6. So if it ever populates, it'll show how much HEX you get. All right. Since this is not showing up, let me show you another one. Another site that you can use is GoPulse. Let me show this one. Where is it? Wait, do I have it open? I don't even think I got it open. Shit. Hold on. Yeah, right here, GoPulse.com. I thought I had this open already. I guess not. Well, actually, yeah, I did. I did have it open. Just didn't know where the shit was. All right, where is it? GoPulse. Here we go. So when you go to GoPulse, if you click on swap right here, it opens up this DEX. This DEX also connects to PulseX. This connects to PulseX as well. So again, if we got 1.6 million Pulse and we want to see how much HEX we can get, HEX on Ethereum, boom, right there. So we'll get 15,458 HEX on Ethereum for that 1.6 million Pulse. $1.6 million Pulse gets us 15,000 hex on Ethereum. So that's how much hex you'll be able to swap in exchange for the pulse that you bought on PulseLN. Make sense? So is everyone clear on what I'm showing? This is GoPulseX.com. Or when you go to GoPulse.com, just click on swap at the top and it'll pull this up. And then you'll be able to connect your wallet and then you can swap your coins from here as well. So you got your 1.6 million pulse. You can swap that for HEX. This is how much HEX you'll end up with in exchange for the 1.6 million pulse. So that was Ethereum to Pulse, Pulse to HEX on Ethereum. That's how you get it. Any questions? So that's how I do it. So how many steps is that? From your Bitcoin or Ethereum wallet, Coinbase, CashApp, doesn't matter. If you got Bitcoin on CashApp, like what I typically do is this. Money on my CashApp, buy Bitcoin. Take the Bitcoin, I go to PulseLN, exchange my Bitcoin for Pulse. That's one step. I mean, technically it's 2 steps. The hell? What is that? I don't know what that was. So cash to Bitcoin or Ethereum. If I'm using Cash App, it's cash to Bitcoin. That's step 1. Bitcoin to Pulse on PulseLN. That's step 2. And then Pulse to HEX or whatever I want. I can use this, GoPulseX.com. I can swap my Pulse for whatever I want here. So if I want to get HEX, I can swap it here. If I want to get HEX on PulseChain, I can swap it here. If I want to get PulseX here, I can swap it here. I go from Pulse to whatever. Pulse to HEX on Ethereum, Pulse to HEX on PulseChain, Pulse to PulseX. Don't matter. Okay? All right, this is a good video because I'm showing step by step the way that you get these coins. It is not hard. You don't have to do it with as many complicated steps as we were using before. Not at all. We don't even have to use the bridge to do this. You literally can just take your Coinbase wallet or your Cash App wallet with your Bitcoin or your Ethereum, whatever you have. Go to PulseLN, swap that for Pulse. Once it's in your PulseChain wallet, swap your Pulse for HEX, either one, on PulseChain or on Ethereum, or for PulseX. And that's it. You're done. All right. So any other questions? This is a 3-hour live, y'all. 3 hours, 2 hours and 50 minutes. Crazy. But this was good. Any other questions before I let y'all go? All right. I don't see any other questions. So, Walker, if you have any other issues, just message me directly, or you can just message in the chat, in the group chat, and we'll figure it out. Of course, man. Of course. Yep, all good. All right, y'all, I'm out. You know what it is. So let's talk about Hex Baby Volume 10 in the bag. I'll holler at y'all. I'll see y'all next week. What's today? Saturday now? Yeah, Saturday morning. Yep, I'll see you guys next week. Live streamed. I'll do something. Coffee and charts or live market observation, whatever. Love, peace, and soul.
Dom de Monco, Dom de Monco,
Ghost. Come on. Come on. Roll something up so I can just blow my mind. Ladies in the air. Blow my mind. Hey. Ladies in the air. You should roll something up so you can just blow your mind. Just blow your mind. Ladies in the air. Blow your mind. Ladies in the air. Mind blown and tore down. Still blow an ounce and a half, even more now. Yeah, put your lighters in the air, light it up in here. Yeah, put it in the air, see if I'm a puffin' kid. You should find out I came to blow my mind out. Passing and you drop it, I'ma put you on timeout. Like your phrase, I'm smoking, mid-ring, I'm the open in the tub, but it feel like the ocean. I swear to God, I be floating, and I don't need a car to be coasting. You can say that I'm boasting.